question. And then this one says, identify the tissue seen in this slide and where would you find this tissue? So the first thing here is it is not epithelium, because again, you don't see a lumen, you don't see cells like you saw, lining any structure, so it is not epithelium. It is also, therefore, it's not epithelium. It is also not nervous tissue, because in nervous tissue, you'll see, multipolar cells like this, which have processes, and you'll see axons, so there'll be many of this, plus, the nuclei of neuroglia, so that looks very different. So it's not that. So the only possible choices you have is it is either connective tissue, any form of connective tissue, or it is muscle tissue. Now the difference between the two is you have to look at the nuclei, where they are placed, and you have to look at the cell. If you look at this image and you look at this particular nucleus along with the cell in which it's lying, you can see that it's lying in the center of the cell. Again, look at this one here. Here. So all of them. So this is very typical of muscle, where a smooth muscle, where you have the spindle-shaped cell and the nucleus lies in the center. If this was connective tissue, like we know this is not cartilage, it's not a blood. So the only kind of connective tissue you could confuse this with is either dense regular or dense irregular. You would think more irregular because of all these spaces in between. But anyway, in dense connective tissue, you have these collagen bundles, which now if it was dense regular, they would all lie in one, along the same direction. And then the fibroblast nuclei get caught in between the collagen bundles. So again, if it was like this, you get the fibroblast nuclei caught in between. So it is not dense connective tissue. Therefore, the only possible answer here is muscle, and it is smooth muscle, because skeletal muscle and cardiac muscle have striations, and in skeletal muscle the nucleus is hypolemmal. That means it is present below the sarcolemma, and plus it's multinucleated. So you can see, so one cell has many nuclei, whereas here you can see one cell is just one nucleus, and also the spindle-shaped cell that you see here. And cardiac muscle is of course very different. So therefore, the correct answer to this is smooth muscle, and it's in the walls of the stomach. As you know, smooth muscle is present in the walls of organs and blood vessels. So it's therefore not any of these. And again, just to show you and compare. So here, this is dense, regular connective tissue. So look at these things. You don't see spindle-shaped cells. These are just bundles of collagen fibers, where the bundles branch, and you can see a few fibroblast nuclei, not even really well seen here. And this is dense irregular connective tissue, where the bundles are in all different directions. And again, you see some fibroblast nuclei, very different from what you saw over there. So therefore, this is not dense connective tissue. And just to show you skeletal muscle. So here is skeletal muscle. Of course, this is a very magnified picture that you see over here. But you can see striations and these nuclei just below the cytoplasm, just below the sarcolemma. So that's called hypolemmal nucleus. And again, to show you another picture of smooth muscle. So here we have smooth muscle from another site that you were required to look at. So look at this. You can see these spindle-shaped cells with these nuclei. It kind of looks like fish swimming in a stream. So, that's one way I look at it for you to identify. So you can see how it is very different from, so this looks very similar to the image you have, but it's very different from dense connective tissue. So let's go back to our question. So here it is. And let's go to the last question here, which says the function of the cell seen here is, and where would you find the cell? So obviously you have to first identify the cells, and then you talk of function. Now when you get just cell, again, you're not going to get just epithelial cell or just a connective tissue, the fibroblast or things like that. Usually when you get cells, to identify a cell, it could be blood cells, or it could be from the nervous system, because identify neurons or neuroglia, or at the most probably adipocytes, because anything else will come with the whole tissue. For example, if you were to ask asked to identify a chondrocyte, it would be, you could see the entire cartilage. It's not present just separately without the other structures with it. So therefore, when you are asked to identify cells, usually it is blood, nervous tissue, or adipocytes. Now let us look at this one. This is very obviously that from blood, and look at these lobed nuclei, because nervous system doesn't have cells looking like this. So this is, you can see these red blood cells. These are lobed nuclei, as you can see here. So this is very typical of neutrophils, and you can see it has granular cytoplasm, but you can't tell the color of the granules. This is a lymphocyte, where you see this huge nucleus and very little cytoplasm. So this is a neutrophil. Hence, its function, the function of a neutrophil is phagocytosis. So that's why this is the correct answer. Now these answers, where it says to conduct impulses, means we were talking about neuron, which is present in the brain and spinal cord. Never just say nervous system, always give the exact location. It's not this, because neurons don't look like this. And this other choice is lay down collagen, which means fibroblast would have been the choice, and connective tissue, so we know it's not this one. Take part in allergic responses means eosinophil. It's not that, and I'll show you an image of an eosinophil and how different it is from a neutrophil. And for insulation and present in subcutaneous tissue is adipocyte. So let me show you an image of, so here's of an eosinophil. So here you can see an eosinophil, very different. It has lobed nuclei, but a nucleus is lobed, but you can see that the granules are so distinct and they're pink in color. Here's another one where you can see this. So this is again a website you are required to go to. So it's very, very important for you to look at these images frequently, so that you can then identify what the the correct choice would be. So again, also read how the answers have been written. So whatever the correct answer is, look at the choice. For example, if you were asked the function of neutrophil, you would say phagocytosis, or to take part in bacterial infections, and where is it present in blood. Okay, so I hope this review helps you.